for me, I think the risk was to let go of the financial benefits that was coming along with the job.
Welcome to the Crossing It Off podcast, where each episode we share the stories of individuals that are living out their bucket/life goal lists. I am your host, Roger Williams, and through hearing our guests' adventures, my goal is that you will find encouragement and empowerment to add and cross items off of your list. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. We've got another great episode for you today. So many times in life, we get to the point where we're just kind of fed up, or even if we're in a good place, we may want some change. And this person that we're interviewing today, our guest, her name is Prerna Sinha. She describes herself as an entrepreneur, a public speaker, a traveler, and a photographer. And she has taking control of her life in such a way that I think we can all learn a little bit of something. So, Prerna, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Roger.
And what was the thing that you crossed off your list?
So the thing that I crossed off my list was quitting my fabulous job. And I call it quitting off because work was very, very important for me. Like, I held my job always like the priority in my life, and quitting it sounded like, crossing it off.
Yeah. So tell us, what was the job you were doing that was so fabulous that you enjoyed so much that you quit?
Yeah. So I was in HR for about a decade doing different roles. And the last job that I did was also somewhere around, managing speakers and, HR conferences and HR. So yeah, fabulous. Those 10 years were really good doing HR.
What made them so fabulous for you? What was about the job that you eventually quit? What was it about that job that you really enjoyed and liked?
It was about people, like connecting with people, being in touch with people, and their careers, their path forward. So always being involved with people around was the major part of the role that I enjoyed all throughout.
Yeah, and so if it was so fabulous, what came up that was more fabulous that you wanted to quit this job and do something else?
Yeah, I think when I became a mother in 2017, that was the time when I found it very difficult to manage, motherhood and work, because I was also an ambitious professional. So I didn't want to lag behind there. At the same time, I didn't want my baby to feel, sort of rejected. So trying to find that balance was making me, quite unsettled in life. And I was trying to find more meaning in life, trying to find something more meaningful that I would do, something that I could contribute to society. And after going through that phase for about 2 years, in 2019, I started my own brand. My own company. Yes.
That had to be a hard decision. And being an entrepreneur is not easy. It is tough, and there's lots of risk involved.
Yes.
And so what made that decision easier for you? What was the thing that clicked in your head? Like, oh yeah, this is the time, this is the moment.
I wanted space for myself. I wanted time to be in control. And I thought being my own boss and doing things at my own space, my own creativity, letting it flow would help me. And that's what clicked right. I started enjoying the journey thoroughly.
So what was it? You had a fabulous job, and then you quit, and you moved into kind of what I would say as using your labor for yourself, right, instead of for somebody else. I've gone through that recently as well, so I understand that. I know. What's the main thing about that experience that brings you that same sense of doing something fabulous? What is that? What's one thing in there that makes working for yourself so much better for you than giving that labor to somebody else?
I think working for yourself gives you the space in your life. You can find work-life balance. You can do a lot more things that you want to do because you have sort of some time in your control. You can go traveling, you can go photography, you can spend time with your family whenever you want. And at the same time, if you want to contribute to society, you contribute in a better way because through my own brand, I'm working for the economic empowerment of women weavers in the country. So trying to also bring awareness about Indian tribesmen, craftsmanship. So these things, I think, made it much more meaningful.
Because it was something you were passionate about or that you had interest in. And so that made the transition easier
Yes.
than what you had been
Yes.
told or thought, or someone said maybe this would be a good
Yes.
career path for you.
Yes. Yes. I was always very fond of, so my brand is all about saris, which is an ancient
Mhm.
Indian garment. And I was always very, very fond of it, seeing my grandmothers and my mother and the other women around, seeing them, look so elegant and at the same time very powerful. So, and I had been hoarding them for a long time. So I thought, what if I try to combine my love for saris and my business together? And it just made perfect sense for me.
I just think that's so awesome. I love that story. It's very similar to mine.
Yeah.
Um, because I wasn't podcasting
Yeah.
in my previous life. I
Yeah.
wasn't doing this,
Yes.
and now I get to enjoy just having conversations like this is just so much fun for me, and I'm grateful for everyone that listens to the show.
Yeah.
But I would probably do this if no one listened, or of course that would
Yeah.
be a great benefit to my guests. But I just enjoy this process. There's
Yeah.
some parts of it I don't like.
Yeah.
And so what would that be for you? What are some of the things you had this fabulous job, you're moving into doing this thing that you really enjoy, but there has to be some things that like, I don't really like doing that. What are those things that you found?
Yeah, I think it's about taking the whole responsibility of running one business on your own, because for its
Mhm.
growth or for its failure, you are the one who's responsible. When you are just doing a job, you are just a part of that big system where, you know, the responsibilities are delegated and there is the owner of the firm who's, sort of leading the show.
Yeah,
Here, the entire pressure, that burden is on you to run the show. Every night when you go to bed, you're like, okay, tomorrow I have to get this going.
yeah. I except for a couple of months ago when I had a virtual assistant, I do it all. I edit, I do the
Yeah.
copywriting, I make the posts
Yeah.
for social media, all those kind of things. So I
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
that for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Trying to understand every part of business, because you may not
Mhm.
know everything. And unless you know, you cannot expect your people, your team to do that work. So, sort of getting a hang of everything around business, numbers, finances, social media, marketing, HR, everything about the business is now up to me.
Yeah, it's on you. So I would love for you to explain a little bit more about your business and how you are promoting saris and how that connects to your brand.
Uh, yes. So, Urbane Essence is the name of my firm, and it's an e-commerce platform where we showcase sarees from different parts of India. Like in India, it's not just one garment; it also has different designs, different fabrics, a lot of history attached to it, because sarees been worn in India since Harappan civilization. So it's very, very old. It's the oldest garment that Indians
Mm,
have been, and it has evolved over the years. So that's what I'm trying to bring back into fashion. That it helps women break the norms of body shaming, and for just feel free in their own bodies and break those norms. I mean, break those they have around them.
explain that a little bit more. Explain what that means as far as body shaming and this garment specifically.
So body shaming is very prevalent in a lot of parts where people talk about different shapes of the body, where you're sort of put down and made to
Mhm.
think that you're not beautiful because of certain color or certain size or certain shape. And that's what I want to bring to focus, that when you wear this garment, no matter what size, what color, what religion you belong to, you basically are beautiful, right? So I want every woman to feel that she's beautiful and she's all beautiful by herself. She doesn't need all those validations from people around. And if you wear this garment, you feel that on your own.
Yeah, they are beautiful. I do enjoy seeing the different colors and the different styles. What is the connection between these garments and as people wear them, the history that's involved with them? You mentioned that a little bit. Is there some pride in that? You know, like I have a t-shirt collection, which is nowhere close to as glamorous as sorry, but it's, you know, but I have, you know, t-shirts from punk bands from back in the 70s, and there's like some connection of pride when I wear that t-shirt. Is there that same kind of thing with this garment?
Yes, it's that sense of pride, it's that sense of history, it's that sense of belonging that you
Mm,
have to this place, or to your, you know, to your ancestors, to those women who always wore saris across every part of India, which are very different from each other, but still in terms of women wearing this garment, it's been the same all throughout history, throughout, you know, geographies, everything. So there is a lot of pride and belongingness attached to this.
yeah, I love the word belonging. I think that's awesome. Describes it perfectly. Are there different styles depending on where and from what region, or is it that are distinct?
Yeah, they are distinct in terms of their designs, the patterns, or the paintings, or, you know, different kind of artwork that has gone into it, or in terms of fabrics. So they are distinct from which region of India do they come from. If they come from a place, a state called Bihar, so there is this tradition of Madhubani painting, which is very, very ancient. So that painting, those paintings are done on those saris. If you pick something from Lucknow, there's something called chicken work, so which is very specific of that area. So whenever you pick a certain design or a pattern, you know that, you know, this is connected, or this belongs to that part of India. And, you know, if you're
Yeah,
in south of India, you're wearing some sari from north of India, you know that, you know,
does a
you're
bit.
sort of carrying that look that
Okay.
you have in north.
Do these get passed down through generations, or is there, you know,
Yes,
everybody
yes.
grab something new?
Yes, they do get passed on through generations. Of course, there's evolution in terms of
Mm-hmm.
draping, or maybe colors, or certain styles, but the main garment remains the same, that it's 6 yards of the sari, and mostly the way it's worn, and it's been passed down the generations. So there hasn't been much of, and that's why I say that it's always connected back to roots, no matter
Mm-hmm.
how many years we've come far away from Indus Valley civilization or whatever, the garment has remained the same with.
Is there one thing that you dislike about making this transition from working for somebody else and using your labor for your own purposes?
Yeah, I think working from somebody else would keep you more free in terms of, you know, like you've done this job, you've come back home, so it gets over. But when you work for yourself,
Mm.
you have to take care of every bit of it, like I said initially also, you know, even if a pencil is missing or a big part of the job is missing, you have to be responsible, you have to make the show run.
So that's a great piece of understanding for people that want to do this. Let's go back to the quitting of the job, though. If someone is in that position where they're having those same thoughts you did 4 or 5 years ago, what would be the one piece of advice that you would give that person that's like, oh, I think I'm thinking about this, but I like my job. What's the one piece of advice that you would give that person to say, you got this?
I would say take that risk and explore what's more in life for you. Because sometimes when we do a particular job over the years, we forget to explore the world, which has so much more
Mm-hmm.
in terms of work, in terms of exploration, in terms of, you know, the roles that you can play. So give yourself that chance to, you know, explore life or work in different ways as well.
That's a
And
great.
of course, there is risk involved. So be ready to take that risk.
Mm-hmm. What was that risk for you?
For me, and I think the risk was to let go of the financial benefits that
Mm,
was coming along with the job. So yeah, but there is a risk every time you quit a job and you want to do something of your own till the time that gets settled and, you know, picks up. But and there are other types of risk. that, if you have a family, you have to take care of them financially. And so there is risk, but be ready to take that, because life has so much more in store for you.
Yeah, the paycheck has some certainty to it. Like I mean,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
most states you can get released from your job not for any
Yeah.
particular reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
They call it right to work, which I don't understand, but it really means right to fire. But so there is some stability though in getting
Yeah.
that paycheck to paycheck, and
Right.
sometimes people get trapped in that.
Right.
I get that.
Right.
Prerna, what's something else on your bucket list that's like completely different than quitting your job, starting your own business? What's something completely different than that you're looking forward to or think that you might like to do?
Yeah. For me, it's skydiving.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've done all other adventures that I could do in India and Southeast Asia, but I'm yet to go for skydiving. It
So
is on my bucket list.
are you afraid of heights, or
Yeah.
you are?
Yeah. So that would really be like crossing it off my list.
Is there a specific reason? I mean, do you want to get over that fear, or is it just you've done other adventure adrenaline type stuff that you like that's taking it to the next level?
Yeah, it's both actually. I've done so many other adventures that I want to take it to the next level by doing that. And at the same time, I also want to overcome that fear of like jumping off and
Yeah.
height.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah. My partner's done it. I have not done it. It's not on my
Yeah.
list.
Okay.
And part of that's just because it's a control thing. It's like if I'm going to do that, then just let me jump out. I don't want somebody
Yeah.
strapped to my back, but I
Yeah.
understand the safety things that go
True.
into that. But it's just like we're just kind of, if I'm
Yeah.
going to do it, just
Yeah.
want to
And
jump
that
out of my.
moment when you have to sign that you are responsible for your life, or
Yeah.
something at stake, that moment you just
Yeah, that's a good one.
yeah.
Um, where can people find out more information about your brand and what you're doing, and how can they get engaged with you?
So yeah, they can come to my website, which is www.myurbane.com. And they can also find me on LinkedIn, on Instagram. I'm there everywhere. So any message, through messages, they can reach me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing today. I greatly appreciate it. Congratulations on quitting your fabulous job, um,
Thank
and taking your labor in for yourself. And
Thank you so much.
we appreciate you being here today.
I hope I can inspire people around with, by making them take risks in life and also exploring life.
Awesome. Me too. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Good night.
As a reminder to our listeners, in this episode's show notes, you will find links to learn more about this week's guest and information on how you can cross this item off of your list. You can follow my adventures of crossing items off my bucket list on Instagram and Facebook, and as always, new episodes of this podcast are available to stream every Friday morning. We will meet you here next week, and until then, keep living out your list.